Okay, so factors. Okay, we'll talk about factors. So what we discussed was factors. Okay, is used to mimic the categorical values, right? That's what we discussed in last session. That factors are
Right,
used
sir.
to mimic the categorical type of values, right? So let's create a data. Okay. Okay. Now, if I add some values, let's say, okay, so your table might have multiple columns, right? So we were talking about north, right? Uh, south. Let's say I entered south again. I enter north. Okay. Now I enter east. Let me enter east. Okay, so you can have multiple values like this, right?
Right, sir.
Okay. The column can have multiple values like this. Okay. So now, of course, this is of type vector, right? Now, if you want to convert into factors, I'm going to say factor underscore data, and then I say factor. Okay, and I put data here, right? So now let me print this factor data. Okay, let's run this and see. Oops. Error.
सर वो कॉमन नहीं हुआ डॉट हो
Common
गया
नहीं है,
सर इसके बाद
okay, so see this. So when we enter this value, so this value is entered here. But see, it said levels equal to east, north, south, west. So it has filtered out the categorical values, okay, the unique values. One second thing, it has arranged in the alphabetical order. Even though east is coming after 10 values, maybe 5 values, right? We have north first and south second. No. So it has done east first because E comes before N and N comes before S and S comes before W, right? So it has arranged
Okay.
in the alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order.
Okay, so that's why they call it levels. Okay, so this is the advantage of using, okay, factor. Okay, now let's say
Okay.
I give here, or let's say I make this as EAST. Okay, then what happens? You see that it has converted into it is case sensitive. Okay, it is case sensitive.
Okay.
Right? So that's what we have to be careful about when you are doing, when you're handling a lot of data, right? So, generally this is what you could end up getting. So generally what we do, and we will see when we get into the analysis, is that we convert, or everything into smaller case. Okay, we convert it to smaller case, and then we use it as for such kind of analysis.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So what can we add here? Okay, so let me try this. I'll show you this. So okay, we will take this C. Okay, we'll take this C, and I will say so thinking, okay, so I'm going to delete this. Okay, and I'll add not. So I want to pass I want to pass the levels. Okay, so I created these levels. Okay, now when you create
Okay.
these levels, okay, and when you say factor of, okay, so I'm going to say factor of, okay, factor of, I'll use the factors data. Okay, so data which is already factored. Okay, so I give this, and here I will say levels equal to. Okay, okay, so levels equal to. So factor, I'm converting factor data into factor again. Okay, and let's say I save this as factor 2, something like this. Okay, now I'm going to say print factor 2. Okay, so see this, what happened. So the data set, okay, is this one only, factor data. And I'm saying I am only interested in levels north, south, west. I'm not interested in other values. Okay, so
Okay.
when you so difference between this part and this part is here, I'm not giving them my levels. So what it is doing, it is automatically picking up the unique values and creating the levels. Okay, here I'm giving the levels. I say I'm only interested in these 3 levels. I'm not interested in any other levels. So what it has done, north, so north is in the list, yes. South is in the list. The south is in the list. North is in the list. East is not in the list, right? I have not added east here. You see, east became NA, NA, because all these are east. And then we have west, so it became west. So you can define your own levels as well. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So this is it we need to know about factors. Now we'll talk about our data frame. So what is a data frame? Okay, so quickly we'll revise what all things are discussed. So we started with the vector. What is a vector? One-dimensional element. Okay, generally it is in row-wise. Then we talked about list, which is one-dimensional, but it is column-wise, right? Then we spoke about
Right.
matrices, two-dimensional, arrays, multi-dimensional, factor, which is looking at the categorical values. And now we have data frames. Okay, data frames is used to actually mimic table structure, right? So table structure we have in Excel, we have table, right? Row and column. In
Okay.
databases, we have row and column, right? So if you're
Right.
reading an Excel file, if you're reading a database file, or if you're reading from, let's say, JSON or text file, but you want to store that as a row and column, that's when we use data frame. So every row and column will have a header, and under each header you have different values, right? So the values under
Right.
each header, okay, or for that matter, all the values under one header will have same data type, correct?
Right.
So that's a property of tables when we study databases, right? So the column should have same type of data. So if it is phone number, everything that column will be phone number, right? And row indicate
Right.
information about one record. Okay, so if you look at a particular row, okay, if you look at particular row, it will have same type of sorry, not same type, column will have same type, row will have all the data related to same record. So if you look at phone number, email ID, name, all this information will belong to one person only, correct? So they are
Right.
linked. So that kind of structure, that kind of relationship is maintained in data frame. So data frame is a our version of accessing or creating or reading or manipulating tables or database things. So everything. So when we talk about data reshaping, we are doing everything that you could do with a SQL programming. Okay, you can read all the data, you can create a filter, you can select some rows, you can filter some columns. All those things you can do using data frames. Okay, so let's create a data frame first. So I'm going to call it as, generally, we give it as uh, dot data or data frame or df to indicate that it's a data frame. Okay, that's a naming convention. Okay, and because we have seen that in R you can use dot also for variable name, right? Underscore and dot both are used.
Right.
Okay? So let's say I'm creating
So
picture.
what is the EMP?
That's a variable name I'm giving. Okay,
Okay, variable.
it's a
Okay,
variable
okay.
name. Okay, emp.df is a variable name which I'm giving. Now I'm trying to create an employee database. Okay, with that intention in mind, I'm giving it as emp.df. Okay, okay. So when you create this, okay, we use C for creating vector, factor for factor, list for list, array for array, matrix for matrix. We have data frame for data frame. Data dot frame. Data dot frame will convert into data frame. Okay,
Okay.
and okay, so this is the whole table structure will have to be fit into this these two simple bracket. So what do we need to give? We need to give each column here now. Okay, so let's say I create first employee ID. Okay, so I'm going to say emp ID. Okay, emp ID. Okay, equal to, okay, and I say C of 1 colon. Let's say we create 4 record. Okay, so when I say 1 column 4, it's going to generate number 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So this will become one
Okay.
column. emp ID is 1 column. Now let's say I call emp name or empf name or whatever, right? Okay, so this is the first name that we give. So I'm going to say 4, right? So I'm going to say Sachin, Rahul, okay, VVS, and let's say, okay. Now here I'll give EMP L name, right? Equal to C. Okay. Let's say, let's add one more thing called EMP depth department. Okay. So I'm going to say sales development R&D financials. Okay. So I've created this.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now what I'll do is I'm going to say here print emp.tf. Okay. To say this, it has created a column emp id f. So whatever you want to give, you can give it here. And our emp id is created 1 to 4. These are the values we got added. Sachin Tendulkar sales, Rahul Dravid development, BVS Lakshman R&D, Zahir Khan finance, right? And also it added a row num. Okay, generally we call it as row num.
Right.
So it is a row number that is automatically added. Okay. Right.
Right.
Awesome. Okay. So this is how you create a data frame. Okay. Now, if I say print, let's do copy this, and I say summary of. Okay, and if I run this, I need to close. Okay. So do you see this? It has created summary. Okay. Now,
Right.
okay. So depending upon the data type, okay. So generally you'll have number on and the text, right? So on
Right.
number, it has created mean, first quartile, median. Minimum is mean is minimum number. Okay. smallest value, first quartile, median, mean, third quartile, and max value. The summary of numeric column will give us. I hope you know what is median and mode and first quartile, second quartile, third quartile.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
it has given us those values. And then you have on the text data, I see, it is giving us the length, class, and mode. Okay. So it says it is values 4. There are 4 values here. That's why length 4. Okay. It is class character and mode is also character text. So it is telling us that it is giving the count. First length is count, and then the type of data. It is a character,
Right.
right? So
Right, sir.
this is what summary would do. Now I want to print, okay, and this is again, so the assignment that you've been doing, right, on the on statistics and machine learning thing. So if I have to, if I want to print just lnim, right? So I'm going to say print emp.df, okay. Sometimes I don't know why. Yeah, you see. So only first name got printed. So if you need only one particular
Right.
column, so you will say data frame dollar the column name. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you can access this. Now let's say I want to add an extra column. Okay, you can add an extra column. You can add an extra row, right? So let's say I want to add an extra column. Okay. So this is emp.df. In emp.df, I want to add an extra column. Okay. So I'm going to say emp.df. Okay. Emp. Okay. So column name. Okay. Give the column name. So let's say column name, retired, for example, let's say retired. So this is what I want to add. Okay. Now here, okay. Now I need to add the 4 values, right? So see, I'm going to say here, first is Sachin, I'll say true. Dravid, he's still coach, right? So I'm going to say false. Previous, true. Okay, Zahir, true. Okay. Now, if I try to do the summary, to see this, it retired, logical, false 1 and true 3, telling us how many false and how many true.
Right, sir.
Logical, we have two values, right? True or false.
Right.
Right. So this is how you can add an extra column. Now let's have to add an extra row. Okay, I want to add extra row. So to row, we have to use what is called as R bind or row bind. So you have to create one more data frame. Okay, create one more data frame with same column value so that it knows which column to bind, right? So let's say I have this EMP data and I'm going to create one more here. So I'm going to say emp2.df and I'm going to add this retire, right? So because, okay. Now let's say I don't add retire, then let's see. Okay, then later we'll try to add. Okay. So okay, so let's say we have these two employee two. Okay. Now I want to join. Okay. So when you are joining to um, data frame, okay. So when you say R bind, you're saying bind by row. Okay. Now even if here, okay, I'll say department, I will put it here. Okay. Okay, so here I put it.
Okay, sir.
Now, so that just to see how it arranges. Okay, now I'm going to say um, emp3.df. Okay, r bind. Okay, emp.df, comma emp2.df. Okay, and now let me print emp3.df. So let me run entire thing. Okay, so see, number of columns of arguments do not match. Okay, so because it has this retired and I don't have retired, so I'm going to add this to this. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, names do not match previous names, right? So what
Right, sir.
happened? Department is second last, right? Mhm. Wait, I made a mistake here. Error in match dot names class dot names xi. Names do not match previous names. So EMP ID, EMP name, EMP name, EMP department, okay, and then retire. I copied as it is, right? Oh, no, that should not be the case. Oh, yeah. So, okay, now you see that it has
Right, sir.
clubbed them together. This is how you can join two different data frames. Okay, okay. Now let's say you have to perform. Let's say you have three different columns, okay, or three different uh, vectors, and you want to club them as a data frame. So so what we'll do is we will create these as I will create these as different columns. Okay, these are different columns. Okay, now now we'll club them as say into one data frame. So here, just like we had R bind, here we'll have C bind. Okay, so we can use C bind to bind the content. Okay, so I'm going to say emp5.df. Okay, okay, and C bind, column bind. Okay, and here I'll give names of all the columns that I want to bind. Okay, emp id, say empl name. I don't purposely I'm not giving first name, and let's say retired. Okay, so now when we run it, emp id not found. Emp id not run. Okay, comma. These are all independent, right? So comma should not be there, right? Okay. Now I can say print emp5 dot df. Yeah. Right. So it has actually binded them together. Right. So we have seen
Yes.
how to perform column bind, how to perform row bind.
So one question, like, why are we are like copy pasting the same data differently and using for like C binds and rows? The thing is that can we use all those things into a same the first one, or
No, I
like we
didn't
have
get you.
to
Can
do
you
every
please?
time like different things?
No, I didn't get you.
So like the thing is that in a first time we write the code, right? All the codes are there, perfectly working. For the row bind, you have to copy and created an employee ID 3. So emp3.tf,
Mhm.
and you started writing that thing like extra the row one, right?
Which line? Which line?
Sorry, sir. Like it's going on 31.
Okay.
So that is the one thing. If you go above, you will see there is a like 23. You created another employee too, right?
Correct.
So the thing is that why we are creating different type of like table, we can use a single table, and if I
No.
wanted
So
to
see,
add
when
any
you're
column
adding
on a
two
single
tables,
table.
see when you're adding two tables, okay, you cannot add any two data, right? I have to tell you that.
No, I'm my question is that let's say I have an employee one ID, like one table,
Uh-huh.
and I need another row or column I wanted to add on the same table. So can I use the same formula on that code, or like I have to create another
Correct.
table and
So
then merge it?
that's what I'm saying. Okay, when you are merging the, see, when you're adding a new column, it is easy. Okay, you say you create employee, dollar, and you add this value, this column. But when you are merging to table, okay, it needs to know which column, like ID should be merged with ID, right? Name, first name should be merged with first name, right? So in this case, what you have to do is you have to create as a different table and then merge it.
No, so like here in a column, so easily we can go for like line number 2020. So you can easily add another column. So let's say I wanted to add another row. I don't want to add another
That's
column.
what I'm saying.
So
So
can I
to
use
create a
this?
row, you have to first add it like a table. You have to create it like a table, and then you add
Oh,
it.
okay.
Okay. So now, if you see, let's take example of Excel. Okay. Let's say I take an Excel. Right. Let's say I take a what no notepad. So let's say I have, okay. Okay. Let's say this is the table, right? Now I have different value. Now, how do I know this case should go to first column or second column or third column? You will not be able to know, right?
No.
So what we have to
Hmm.
say is you have to say that you have to, you have to show it like a table only.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to create it like a table. Okay. Now we have 5, right? So we'll add one more. Then you say, okay, this plus this paste. So you're pasting it becomes 1. Okay. Because when you have individual
Okay.
values, how will it know which value should go to which column? So you have to create an exact same copy of table. Headers will be same. Values, of course, will be different, of course. Then when you're merging it, it knows, okay, EMP ID should be merged together.
Hmm.
First name should be merged together. L name should be merged together. Okay. So in fact,
Got it.
here, If I cut it and paste here, let's say. So see, it merged because okay, earlier I was because of the equal to it was giving error. Now you see that I department is here. Still, it is able to know which department it is, and it merged in department column name only.
Mm-hmm.
So for that purpose, you have to create it like a table only,
Okay.
right?
Okay, so got it.
Right. So okay. So this is how we have seen R bind and C bind. You can also merge two data frames. Okay. See here when you are doing R bind, okay, row bind, the column names have to be same, right? Column names have to be same, and it knows that okay, based on the column name, it knows how to bind it, right? Now I'm going to talk about if there are different data, okay, and then you have to tell them that you have two different data and by what you want to merge it, okay. So okay, I'll just give an example. Let's say I have um, ID, I have runs, and I have average in one table. So ID 1 runs 405 or 450, whatever, average, let's say 45. ID 2, 390, and say 54. Let's say this is table 1. In table 2, I have ID, I have name, I have city. ID 1, Sachin Tendulkar, city Mumbai. 2, Saurav Ganguly, Cole. Okay. Now let's say I have this. See, earlier R-bind you saw, right? R-bind is exactly the same set of values. You are adding them together. Okay. So you're just putting them one below another. But here you see,
Yes, sir.
here we have to merge. Okay. So we are adding columns, but not simply adding columns, but we have to be careful that we merge right data with right data. Okay. ST should come here and SG should come here. Right? Why? Because ID is 1 and 2. So we have to say on what ID you want to merge them. Third type of merge we are seeing. Okay, the names are different. R bind, C bind, merge. They're joining, basically third type of join. Okay, first join, simply put them together. Second, again, simply put them together. Here we are again simply putting them together, but there is a logic. Logic is that there is a column called ID, and based on the ID, you need to merge them.
Right, sir.
Right? So let's say, let's create EMP table itself, EMP1 and EMP2. Okay. So let's say I create something like this. Okay, let's have ID, name, department. Okay. So I'm going to say EMP12, something like that. EMP12. 1 second. Huh?
Hello. Hello.
Sorry, there's some water leakage. So yeah. So see
Oh,
here.
okay.
So I'm going to add, I've created a data frame, EMP12,
Mm-hmm.
and I've added EMP ID, FNAME, department ID. Okay. And I will close it. So the data frame is created. Now I'll go back here, EMP2 itself. Okay. Let me copy this and later I'm going to remove it. Okay. So I say EMP22 Okay, and EMP ID, I'll keep it 1 to 4. F name and department, I'm going to remove it. Okay, so I added EMP L name and retired, right? So I've got these two. Now I want to merge them, these two, on the basis of ID, right? EMP ID. So I'll say EMP new something. Okay. Okay. You use merge as function. So merge what? So we have two values x equal to emp12.df. Okay. Y equal to emp22. Okay. emp22. And then I'm going to say by what? By
Like
by
column.
dot x. Okay.
Oh,
By dot x. Okay. Equal to. Okay. Now, on what basis do you want to merge? Okay. So, okay. So I'm going to say C, right? Or I can simply say EMP ID.
right.
EMP ID. And
I want a cardboard, what? Papa. I want a cardboard.
Yeah. So this is not C. I don't know why did I write C. It is X, right? On Y also, on Y axis also it is EMP ID. Okay. So column name need not be same, right? Okay. But values inside this column should be same. So it knows. And I think we are done. Let me print it and see. EMP new, EMP new. Okay. And we run it. Uh,
Papa,
one,
give me a
oh,
cardboard.
sorry, I did not run this part, right? Let me run it.
Give me a cardboard.
I'm sorry, one second. Yeah, I'm sorry. So must match numbers of column. Must match numbers of column. Numbers of column. Error fix error in fix.py.
Hello.
Sandeep, are you there?
Yes, sir.
I don't know why I was talking and wasn't mute. Okay, so sorry. So the
Okay.
so see, I don't know when it became mute. Here,
I
yeah.
uh-huh.
So
So I think so employee ID will be a fixed one. But the thing
yeah.
is that we are not giving a space for the remaining two. Maybe they are also taking as a fixed.
No, it's correct.
I'm not sure.
No, this is correct. See,
Okay.
this one has to be in quotation. This is what we were not doing it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the column on which you are doing merging has to be in quote.
In quotation.
In
Okay.
quotation, yes. And so here, see, here we have same column, right? MP ID. So you can say by. If you had different column ID, you can say by.x and by.y. So on by.x, which one you want to pull? On by.y, which one you want to pull, right? So
Okay.
only
Okay.
thing is that the column name should be passed as a parameter, as a string. Okay.
Okay.
So that was the problem. Okay. So see what happens. Okay. So when when you have same values, it's fine. Now let's say I do it 3 ID. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this I'm making it 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll say 3:6. Then let's see what happens. One, two, two, one. Okay. So what happened? So there you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Here you have 3, 4, 5, 6. So only 3, 4 IDs are common, right? Sachin
Mm-hmm.
and Rahul is not there, and same way here, so okay, the last two, Lakshman and Khan, will not be there. Here, see, Lakshman Khan is not there. Okay, so what it has done? Okay, this is called as this we call it as natural join or inner join. So we are doing join. We are joining two data frames. Okay, so it is different than bind. Okay, join. Okay, now this one is
Mm-hmm.
called as natural join in SQL. Natural join or inner join. Inner join means when you are joining these two tables, only the common IDs will be added. Only the common ID will be added. Okay.
So,
Okay. Now, now let's say second type is called as left auto join.
Papa, let's fly a kite.
Sorry, guys. Okay.
It's
So
also-
left outer. Okay. So when you say left outer, okay, left. See here you have two values, right? EMP12, EMP22. So what is on the left? 1, 2. So EMP12 on the left. So X is left and Y is right. So when I say left outer, it means that I want everything from X and only the common point. So inner means only the common rows. Left means left outer means you give me everything which is on the left, which is on 1, 2. But from the right, you give me only the common one. Okay. So okay, same logic. Okay. One extra thing that you have to add here, that is called as all dot x. All dot x equal to, by default it is false. Okay. Okay, all dot x equal to true. That means you want all from x. Okay. Now when you run it, so see we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We didn't get 5, 6 because we just said all of x.
Right. So
Right. Now second one is you have right outer, right?
so here also taking the commons, right?
No, it's giving you 1, 2 also, right? 1, 2 is not common, correct? So
Like here I can see Sachin, Rahul, VVS, and Zahir. That's left one. And apart from that, I can
all the
see here
values from
last name
left
of
is there.
Tendulkar.
All from left is there, all 4. But
Okay,
from
okay,
right you
okay.
see NA. So because we don't have
Then, sir,
values.
how the VVS and Zahir coming?
VVS Tendulkar. Tendulkar is what?
No.
3 and
That
4.
first one, that VVS and Zahir.
No. First one we said all right, all x equal to true. It is giving all, like, first 3, EMP ID, F name, and department ID is coming from your X or the left side. So all data from left is there.
Okay.
Okay. And from right, okay, the 1, 2 is not there. That's why it is NA, right? And Tendulkar Dravid is coming. But if you see here, Tendulkar Dravid, Lakshman and Khan is there, which is 5 and 6. So Lakshman and Khan is not there, because it's not getting us 5 and 6. 5 and 6 is on right side, not on left side. We want only all from left, not from right. Did you get it? No? I'll pause
Okay.
for...
But the thing is that na is coming in a wrong place, no?
No. Why it is wrong place?
That employee last name, it should come Sachin Tendulkar.
So who said Sachin Tendulkar? See here, Sachin ID.
No, sir. First.
Wait, listen.
Yes, first.
Listen. So if you see here, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sachin ID is 1. Rahul ID is 2. But what is the ID of Tendulkar here?
It's a 3. Okay.
It is for 3. VVS Tendulkar, right? It's not Sachin Tendulkar. ID is
Okay.
3. Right? So VVS ID is 3 and Sachin Tendulkar ID is 3 here.
Okay. Got it.
Right?
Got it.
So when you say ID 3, that means we are assigning for third, roll number, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Is it clear now?
Why so? Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. So coming back, now similarly you can do all y equal to true. So when I say all y equal to true,
so I think so it will be on line number 68, right?
sorry, can you hear me now? You're saying something?
Yes, sir. Okay.
So now I said all y equal to true. That means I'm doing right outer. Okay, so this is right outer. I
think so it will be in a line number 68, sir.
No.
Line number 68 is a right outer.
I changed the same one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I changed the same one. So now you see all values from the second right side data frame is added, and left side 1, 2 is not there. And for Lakshman, we don't have
Right, sir.
first name, so it became NA. You know, our department is NA and F name is EMP. F name is NA, right? So now, okay, so you have full join, inner join, left outer, right outer, or full join. Okay, so here you say all. All means, okay, it will give you all. Okay, my mistake. All should be true. Oh no, my and then here I'm going to say all. See, all X, all Y, right? And all, simply all. All means give me full join. Okay. So see, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. So this is how, you can actually perform joins. Okay. So we'll stop here for today. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And tomorrow, when we meet, we'll talk about handling files. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Bye.